Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought we would try something completely different, and this is something that I've done for years and years, and for some reason I decided to give all my equipment away, and then I came back to it and I've had to buy all the equipment again. This is called encaustic art, and what I like to do with card making is you can incorporate it, of course, with card making, and you can also incorporate it or use it for ATCs, which I have in the past. So let me just give you a quick run through. This is the encaustic iron, and it's a little craft iron. You can slide the handle off and it will slip around the iron so that it makes a flat base, which for some reason, as usual, on camera it doesn't work. So there it is. You can lay that flat and it can be a flat plate. The other thing you need is lots of heat protection. The card, one side is matte, one side is slightly shiny, so that the ink doesn't soak right in. It's not ink. Let me just move this over so that you can see. This is what we use. It is wax crayons. Now, some of these are just simple wax crayons that I got, Crayola crayons. Some of these are actually encaustic crayons, which are slightly more expensive. I've got bits of sponge that I can use to create texture as well. So that's the crayons that we use with the hot iron. And let me show you some of the things that I've done. You create a picture, an image, and you use the hot wax to make the shape. So this is one that I've done. I've left it full size. I've put little gulls in it. And you can see the great textures and shapes that you can get by using different techniques in the iron. So what I might do is create a sheet this size and then cut it down. And I'll cut it down to a smaller size, and then I can see if there's anything in it that takes my fancy. So using different colours, different techniques, you can see how you create all sorts of backgrounds. Here's a few more that I've done. Cut this one out of a frame, so that's sort of pink and silver. Just experimenting. This one, hang on. I actually put the ink onto the card and then I die cut it out, because just the colours of it, the shape of it reminded me of the flamingo wings, the pink and the silver. So as you can see, there's lots that you can do. Often I will use the black silhouettes that I die cut. These are bits that I've cut out to use. So let's, for example, take this one. I could put a black silhouette on it that would create an image. This is another one of my folders with die cuts. This has got animals in it. And I've got some black die cuts of a cat. And I remember doing this for an ATC. But there's an image that could be green grass, sky and clouds, and you could hide a cat coming out of it, like making trees and grass and what have you. So that's the outcome. Let me show you how to do it. I put all these things away. I tend to keep the sort of shiny cards so that I can use these. As I say, the matte card, when you use it, it will just absorb the wax rather than allow it to stay on top. If I just take a strip, let me show you. I'm going to flip that one over and I'm going to leave this one here. You could use this on a number of different surfaces. There are a few different techniques that you can use in terms of painting and resisting and all these sorts of things, but this is just the very basics just now. So what I'm going to do is put my handle back on because I want to be able to hold it. I've got lots and lots of layers of cloth here to protect. So I want to make sure that I can get this on camera. If we take a wax crayon and you just rub it anyway, and then let's take another colour, bits of yellow maybe, and then go up to the blue, perhaps some white. That's it. All you're doing is rubbing it on, and then you place it on the paper and smooth it out. Okay, so let's try it on the mat. I'll show you a different way of doing it. So I might do this one a bit upside down. So I've got blue, bits of white, dark green, there's pale green, what you can also do, because that one I did the shaking, you can just put it on and lift it off. Put it on and lift it off. Okay. And then the iron, you just use tissue paper to wipe it clean. Or, like me, you use this. So here you can see, and it's kind of coming through the back, how that isn't as good a finish as this. So let me try something else. We could have some pink. Maybe need to turn my heat up a bit. It was smoking earlier, so I turned it down. And now it'll be a bit too cold. Pink and a sort of purple. And then some red. You can start and do a little shimmer as a background. You see? So it really does depend on how you want it to be. What I tend to do is just to make one big image, and then I will cut it into smaller sections like I did here. So let's try that, shall we? I've got my plate a bit warmer. So I'm just going to put a layer of orange down. I'll definitely put this too low. One of them I did with the ballet dancer. I had got a ballet dancer die in the Crafter's Companion advent calendar. That's sort of a little shuffle, but it leaves you with a line down the middle and the things coming out either way. Let's put some yellow on. This is very random. I never know really what I'm going to end up with. But we could do the lift. And you know the good thing is that if you don't like it, you just run the iron over the top and it goes away. Okay, wipe that off. And this is the pink, pale pink. Now of course I'm just putting one colour on here, but you mix the colours. You mix them so that you get different ways of getting it. You can actually just use the tip to draw things. There's a squiggle. This pale pink is lovely because it seems to have a bit of silver through it. So this is just a squiggle, and you can see it leaves a sort of ruffle effect on it. So what I would do now is I would let this dry, and then I would cut it into smaller pieces. The ATCs are 2.5 by 3.5 maybe. And so you want to see, when you cut it down, you think you can see things within the abstract that you've done. There is another one. Now, let's say you wanted to put something into this. You can use the edge or the tip of the iron to create score lines. That's maybe not been hot enough, but you can see how you can create lines that might look like a plant, perhaps. You can use the side to make things that might look like plants or trees or reeds or anything like that. I quite like that pattern. I do hope you can see it. So I'm going to let this dry, and then I will cut it into smaller pieces. So if, for example, let me put this away somewhere that's not going to cause problems. If we take this one, which is the one I did first, let's just cut it down. Now we look at it and we think, okay, where are we going? Is it waves? Is that like the ripples of water or wind or whatever? And then you would take your silhouette and you would place it on there. And cut it to size for the ATCs. The other thing, of course, is that this can be used as backgrounds on cards. So if you have an aperture card, like this one, you can use it as a background for that. Obviously, I have to cut that down to size. Let's just do that. And there you have a different kind of background. It's interesting because everything is different. It's always different. And if I were to take this and say, I don't like it, I might decide to put something else on top of it. And as I do that, the original wax is remelted. The original wax. So if you don't like something, you just do it again until you get something that you like. So this is what I thought I would share with you today. I remember many, many years ago, a lady was doing this at a complimentary fair, and she was doing psychic readings from it, which I thought was quite amusing. But I think as a background for creating different and original ATCs, I think it's a really interesting form of creating art. So I hope you like this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please do feel free to comment and share. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you all stay well. Thank you. Bye-bye.